All right, so this is the Process podcast, just a quick fire podcast where me and my brother Lewis, coach of 10 years plus, you know,
Too many
health and
years.
fitness enthusiast. We're just gonna talk about what we're currently doing with fitness, nutrition, lifestyle habits, no mindset fluff, just getting into the nitty-gritty of what we're doing and what's working this month. So, yeah, without further ado, my man, what's your morning
Uncomfortable.
routine?
The morning routine. No, literally, like, Joe, it's crazy. Like this year for me, I've went through the whole process of simplification on absolutely everything to make life as frictionless as possible. Like easiest diet possible, easiest training split possible, easiest mindset habits possible, easiest morning flow. Like for me, luckily I can wake up kind of when I want. I don't need to actually start work till 2 p.m. considering I live in Bali, so I'm 7 hours ahead of the UK. So I'm waking up every morning, no alarm, like natural rise, anywhere between half five, 6:30, just depending on like what my body needs. So no alarm in the morning, no disgusting cortisol spike. It's take a piss, wash my face, weigh in, checking on the old naughty step, make sure things are moving in the right direction. And then downstairs, psyllium husk, which is a digestive drink, which kind of kickstarts, the process. And then like
Someone
apple.
was talking to me about that the other day, actually.
Oh yeah.
Silly Plus, literally the first time I've ever heard of it. Says it's like really, really helping him lose weight.
Oh, it's great, man. It's just
Is it
like
like
it's like
expanding
almost
your stomach or something?
it can fill you up and it's almost like a meal,
Yeah.
but it's like direct emulsificated fiber or something that just like cleans your pipes out. So I'm smashing that with some sparkling water and apple cider vinegar as well. Get nice and insulin sensitive. So I'm getting almost the fullness from the sparkling water and then the psyllium husk and expands. And then I'm taking, 5 to 10 minutes to journal, reflect, review the day, and then I literally put AirPods in and just go 6,000 steps first thing.
Nice. Nice.
Top, top
Every
solid.
every single day without fail.
Without fail. I've not missed that in 4 months now. And
Nice,
that's,
because you used to get up at like 3:30, 4 in the morning, press ups outside in the garden. What changed?
well, like what got me here doesn't get me there. And it was, I think I had to go through a period of like doing 75 hard every day for like a 2 year period to build a capacity, build like a confidence. And it was almost like a cope to like almost solidify that I was doing what I said I would do and document that and show people that I'm super disciplined. But what's going to change for me mindset wise is not a negative fuel of discipline, willpower, using guilt or shame to prove to myself that I can be better. It's like devotion. Like I'm devoted to the purpose of being a healthy, fit guy rather than like I need to be disciplined to become this guy. It's like, no, I actually love being this guy. So I'm just gonna like free myself from the shackles of this like pain that I was actually applying to myself to become him and just flow. So it was like that kind of
So
mix.
you kind of already were that guy anyway. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna miss your training. You're gonna eat well. You're gonna do stuff like that anyway. So these are all kind of habits that are locked in. But
There's that to say as well that one of the things that was always like a friction for me was like everything was I had to try. I really had to try. Whereas now I've almost like removed importance from it. And it's just like it's more of a flow, more of a feel, which has allowed me just to be like a lot more kind of like in groove with things and enjoy life better, which has been awesome from like a diet training perspective. So yeah, get those steps in the morning, and I find myself walking to more like a different bakery most mornings, and then
mm,
breaking the short mini fast with 60 minutes of movement, but then having like an espresso. I don't have a coffee in the house. So I'll have the espresso when I'm out, more sparkling water. And then anywhere like a nice baked good, anywhere between like the 350, 500 calorie range, like a muffin or pain au chocolat or like some sort of Danish or like a cinnamon roll. Um, and then I'll do some exercise. I'll do some hard exercise, whether it be a weight session or like a hit session. And right now for
Nice.
me, it's 20 minutes a hit, timer on, or it's a 45-minute upper or lower body workout. You know, that's the kind of morning process. Once that's done, it's maybe, 10, 11. I'll sauna, I'll ice bath. I'll probably fall asleep for 10, 15 minutes on a sun lounger. And then like after that, I feel very, very good for the day. Like very,
I
very
mean,
great.
it's an incredible morning routine, mate. It's an incredible morning routine. Sounds absolutely class, man. Absolutely class. Mine's not quite as I don't know what the word is, as beautiful.
Not as idealistic.
Mine is mine's quite simple, just get up, smash a litre of water in the shower, coffee, out, steps, try and get like 4,000 steps first thing, get back straight into work. That's like that's just what works for me. I mean, maybe it's because we're on different time zones, you know.
Yeah, I
So,
find there's more pressure in the UK to work straight away because people wake up at a certain time and you almost like your nervous system expects responses and things to be done. Whereas here, even from work, I've kind of taken the same approach with training, simplification. I'll let work pile up. And then when it hits like 1 p.m., that's when I'll really crack on and start like, I'll wait till things have built to a mass and I'm in state for it. And then I'll just like grind on it until it's
that's a
done.
skill. That's a skill. Letting the messages, letting the things that often or maybe used to feel really urgent to you pile up until you can actually go in, set aside like 2 or 3 hours and do it as a block rather
Yeah.
than like chipping away at it all day and it kind of like can take away your focus from other
Yeah.
parts of the day. That's like that's a big one for me, man, because as soon as I wake up, if I've got a pile of messages, I'm like, I need to get back to these messages. I need to get back to these messages right now. Even though my logical brain knows my clients they don't expect me to message them as soon as I wake up. They
Sure.
they're happy for me to get about my day, do what I need to do. But it's always in the back of my mind, like you need to get through this so you can then get to that.
Yeah, I think that's like definitely a subconscious thing. And I think probably like even a lot of clients will feel the same way. Like you'll have them, I'll have them, and maybe some questions or conversations we'll have with them. It's like the stress they have prior to bed. They're maybe looking at emails. They're wanting to continue clearing more from their plate to like almost have a little bit less of a stressful following hour or following day just by overexhausting themselves in the moment. And it's like I think don't delay your happiness. Like for me right now, like happiness and feeling that flow in the morning and delaying. I'm not saying I'm not happy when I work, like I really, really am, but I want to be super potent and make sure I've not like grazed on work all day. I want to be like, right, if I'm
Yeah.
in Sierra One, it's Black Ops, it's an operation for this period of time. And then when I'm out, I'm out. I can change state again. I can go back into more of like what is it, a parasympathetic or a sympathetic state and go back to like rest and digest.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Like you sort of have your big work block set up in the day. It's almost like it's not a performance, but it's like you're going in, you get into state, and it means you're going to deliver, better value for that period of time, as you said, rather than grazing at things all day. Maybe they're getting like 70% Lewis, whereas if it's all in that like 3 hour block or 2 hour, whatever it is, however long the block is, where you're literally just hammering WhatsApp voice notes and communicating with clients that day, it's like if it's more condensed, you can give more energy because
Yeah.
then if you're like replying to a pretty, I don't know, sometimes you can get quite messages that require, you to sit down and actually think about, you have to, bring up the data. You have to actually like have a think about how you're going to answer this. If you're in Morrison's, buying shopping, you're trying to answer that message, you're not giving it your full attention. So yeah,
True. True.
I feel when I reply to clients, I like to sit down in front of the computer, have literally all their data up, have everything so that I can refer to absolutely everything while I'm answering that message. Don't really like sending voice notes out and about and stuff like that, or messaging clients on the go. Um, I feel like they don't get the best version of me when I'm doing that. So I think the work blocks they're super important.
100%. 100%. It's like be where you need to be for pulling off the work that needs to be done. It's like almost like training at home doesn't feel the same as training in the gym. It's still training, but one's going to be a better stimulus, a better feeling, a better frequency for actually pulling off the task. So I think like even for me, like the environment I've set my desk up at, it's like when I'm sitting here, I know I can be like in the zone. I even turn the desk facing a wall so I'm not like distracted off anything and just see my goal board in front of me and stuff. It's just like this is where the magic happens, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, you done it Hormozy style. He like that. If anyone doesn't know Hormozy, he's like Alex Hormozy. He's like a billionaire or something, but he like works in this little like cupboard that's like a tunnel almost. It's like he's got tunnel vision in front of his computer. Just this tiny little cupboard. He's like in a mansion and he's sitting in a cupboard on his computer, smashing coffee, smashing nicotine, just like working. Can't even like see, there's like nothing to even see on his sides, nothing in front of him. Like just that he's got the blinkers on, like a
Yeah.
horse running a race. So yeah, I mean that makes sense, man.
Oh yeah. So talk to me about your training at the moment. What's the current training get up?
Training split just now is it's kind of similar to what I've been following for the last pretty much 2 to 3 years. I've just been chipping away at basically the same program for maybe the last 2 to 3 years, and just making steady strength gains. So Monday, or first day of the week, sometimes I'll do it on Tuesday, depending on how busy Mondays are. First session of the week's always going to be, big push day. So I'll start my session off some core engagement stuff. Do you know the McGill Big Three?
Yep. Familiar.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a wee core engagement thing. Just gets you used to kind of bracing, some side planks, some bird dogs, stuff like that. Just gets you used to, just switching on and engaging the core. Then it's into some plyos. So just building that sort of ground reactive time, explosiveness. It'll be stuff like broad jumps, hops and bounds, just stuff that's like just body weight stuff. You're just jumping, you're exploding, and I feel that just as you get older anyway, that allows you to hold on to that
Spring.
that spring, yeah, that power, that explosivity, and also like for your tendons, your ligaments, stuff like that. Just keep that it does just keep things springy. It's like a use it or lose it. Like a lot of guys you know, I talk to them like, maybe they're lifting weights and stuff like that, but they can't jump. They feel like if I was to try and like jump a fence, I'd blow my kneecaps or something, So
Yeah, for sure.
I feel keeping some plyos in there. Plyos keep you young. I feel because you're just bouncing, you're hopping. Um, and I really enjoy plyos as well. I think like jump training is like my favorite kind of training.
Oh
Real,
wow.
really, really fun, just exploding. So start with that. Also doing plyos first, I feel kind of like just like switches on the nervous system a little bit.
Huge. Huge.
You feel quite engaged going into the heavy compounds because you know, you've kind of already expressed like maximum power. So the
Yeah.
nervous system is quite lit up going into the heavy compounds. Then day one, squats, you know, um, work up to the top set, 10% load drop for the next two sets, whatever rep range it might be. Bench press, same protocol. Incline press, same protocol. Split squats, just like two sets of eight. Try and go pretty damn heavy. Then just some bodybuilding accessories, some lat raises, some tricep push downs. So yeah, it's like a mixture of, I like to sort of see it as it's like athletic performance training, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. And I think for me, because I grapple, I think that's like a good balance of things.
Oh, for sure. I think in like what you're saying with the 10% load drops, that's kind of like reverse pyramid training, I guess.
Yeah, so your top set and then drop it by 10%. You know, if you're hitting like three heavy top sets, the fatigue is going to be absolutely crazy. Like
Horrible.
going into the rest of the week, and if you're wanting to like grapple and a gig as well, obviously. So like, there's a lot that I need to do. So I'm working through like RPE skills, like like 5 week blocks. So we'll go from like RPE 5 to RPE 9, peak at RPE 9, drop back down to RPE 5, maybe change the rep range or something like that, and then build up again. So like doing it like that just helps manage fatigue really, really well. But yeah, 10% load drops, they're always a good chance. Drop the load, maybe hone in on technique and stuff a little bit, but you've kind of given it your all on your top set. So even the idea psychologically of doing two more top sets is horrendous. I would hate it. I would absolutely hate it because even at RPE 5, you get to a certain point, you're still like lifting heavy weights. Like my RPE 5 for deadlifts, this block was like 200 for five.
Yeah, and
So
like
like,
that's so crazy, man. That's so freaking crazy numbers to be pulling. That's kind of what I've been doing with the training too, with the a 6-8-10 principle. I'm actually
yeah,
not
yeah.
squatting or deadlifting at the moment though, because I'm like super
I
light.
know, I know, I know. I mean, you've done a huge squat and deadlift sort of period, a big compound period prior to this. So it's one of these things, isn't it? It's like you don't need these movements. Don't need these movements. I actually enjoy them.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is about yourself as well, you've done them for so long, you've done them for years, you've built respectable numbers on them, you know how to do them. These are like key movement patterns, and I think everyone should learn them. Everyone should be able to like heavy squat, heavy deadlift, because I think if if you feel that you can't do these moves, then that's displaying some sort of weakness in the body that needs dealt with. You know what I mean?
It's
If you're not
weakness in the
deadlifting,
mind.
hmm?
Weakness in the mind. Those
Weakness in the mind, aye, weakness in the mind, weakness in the body. Like if you're like, I'm hurting when I'm doing squats, that tells me like there's something we have to fix. If you
yeah.
can't do a squat, like that's a big red flag. You know, if you're putting just an empty bar in your back, you're doing a squat and like things are hurting. I'm sort of okay. That's it's a what do we need to fix so you actually can do that? Whether we're going to have squats in your program or not, it just doesn't really matter. But you should be able to actually do a squat without without pain. Otherwise, there's something happening. There's something we need to fix.
I believe that. Yeah.
But yeah, your training, you've kind of I've watched a few videos what you've been kind of doing recently. I quite like it. It does sound appealing sometimes when the heavy squats and the heavy deadlift, you're like, oh man, it's gonna be a hard session. I'd rather just go in and bash out, something a little bit less psychologically and nervous system demanding.
Well, yeah, like one of the problems I was trying to solve was, I wanted to lose a lot of weight this year, coming off the tail end of last, and when the more I train, the harder I train, the more I need to eat and want to eat all the time. And the worse I end up feeling. And then I get this weird kind of paralysis analysis thing when I look into programming too much and I end up adding way too much to sessions. And then
Mm.
like
Yeah.
I'm playing this kind of strength volume game and like, chasing two rabbits can't catch none. So I kind of made a decision I'm going to simplify everything this year and really see how it goes. And it's like take a lot of principles from your training, take a lot of principles still from bodybuilding, and then I do keep more of a conditioning piece in on the subsequent days just to keep the engine firing up, which I like, but it's still not as aggressive as going like a long run. You know, after a long run, all we want to do is sit and eat thousands of calories of granola, which is not
Mm.
doing anything for the waistline. But with the training, yeah, similar to you, I do day on, day off approach, only 3 lifts a week.
Yeah,
Um,
same. Yeah.
two on the upper, one in the lower. Um, I've always kind of chased more of the aesthetics, and I feel more it's like I just really enjoy the aesthetic look, but still getting super strong as best as I can. So reverse pyramid training is in. I'm doing like an incline press, and I'm rotating that every so many weeks, depending on where I'm peaking out. An overhead press, and again, rotating that, whether it be single arm press, whether it be dumbbell shoulder or standing barbell, and then your weighted dips and chins. Are the main moves, even for legs, the main moves are now single leg press and B stance dumbbell deadlifts. You know, so
Yeah.
like I'm getting leg DOMs or holding, but I'm not smashing my legs in as much because every
Yeah.
day I've got this goal of hitting 15,000 steps, and I don't like walking when I'm in pain. I just
No,
really
no, that's absolutely fair. It's like the balance between, as you're training, is it hindering like how your next day goes, or is it not a hindrance? Like, if you've got a certain goal around hitting numbers, wanting to get stronger, then maybe there's like a bit of a trade-off. Um, but I mean, you've put in the time and you've invested in getting really, really strong and proficient on the key lifts like squats, deadlifts, your bench, like the big three, and these kind of movements. You've put in the time and effort over like a decade of getting really, really strong on these. So you've now you've now got that compound interest where that strength, that technique, it's not going to go anywhere. Like it will diminish slightly, but if you wanted to build back to those numbers, like you could do it a lot faster than if you were starting from scratch. And when I say a lot faster, I mean a hell of a lot faster. Like, maybe in like 6 months, you could probably get back to those numbers, your
yeah.
top numbers or something like that. So that's never going to go away. So
Uh,
maybe
I've al-
like
always been
for
super, always been super impressed with your weighted dips and chin ups, and that's actually something I've never really done
mm,
ever up until this year, seriously. And like I'd say they are like the top two upper body masculine physique builders hands. See now that I'm doing them and the DOMs that I get and the pump that you get and like the actual see for if you're doing a top set of six weighted chin ups, 50 kilo, you
yeah.
don't need any other back work for the upper back or traps, really. I like to throw a bit of shrugs in these days. I want to think like my neck's gotten very skinny since I've lost a lot of weight. But the traps and the weighted chins, man, like I think they are great, like for every part of the arms and the back, and then the weighted dips as well, man. Triceps get cut from granite, and your chest gets a really good, um, growth factor from that. So yeah, seeing you, I think you're up at, you could probably do a weighted chin up of like what, 70 kilo or something, can you?
I don't know. I think my max was like just I think 40 for five, but that's like like chest to bar, wide grip. I think with close grip, sort of hammer grip,
Yeah.
I could do a hell of a lot more. That's a lot easier, I think. But yeah, I weight dips, all the compounds and stuff like that. Like the reason I do them as well, I actually think they're cool. I
They're
enjoy
cool.
I enjoy like the fact that I'm doing them. I like to watch back videos of myself doing them. I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. It's just like, and I think that's something a lot of people I don't know, don't really think about sometimes. It's like, do you
Yeah.
actually enjoy the movements? Is it like cool to you? Is it fulfilling to you in some weird way that you can't even explain? Like, I don't try and think about why I like it so much. I just think barbell training to me, that's fun. That's cool. I like it. I like doing it. And is it the best? Is it the best for like from like a means to an end standpoint for getting the best hypertrophy results. Maybe not, but it's gonna definitely build muscle. It's gonna build a fucking strong ass body, and most importantly, I think it's cool. I like pushing the numbers with these
Hell yeah.
movements. I think that's like a thing a lot of people miss out on. It's like if you can connect something to those movements that like this is like a fun, interesting, meaningful thing to me to push forward and progress on. And it doesn't really matter if it's the most optimal or not. It's like I just fucking like it, you know?
Sure. Hands down, like was speaking to a client one call ago, and I was like saying to him, like, my system is my system that I've built through years of trying loads of different systems. And yes, there is muscle building experts out there that are the most optimal science-based yada yada. But Jeff Nippard would say you're not stimulating this to the utmost level of hypertrophy. I don't really give a fuck. If I want to do a Cuban press because it feels great, I want to do a Cuban press over like a, cuffed lateral lying side raise with like a fucking knee sleeve in my head. Like there's these things that are optimal, these things that are cool, and it's like if you enjoy doing what you're doing and scale it properly, that over time is actually going to be more proficient than the most optimal done with no intensity or heart because you can't really be fucked doing it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing as well, which like like the cuffed like single arm lat raise. I'm never setting that up. It's just I'm not doing it. I'm not getting using a cuff, doing a single arm lat raise where I can just go and grab a set of dumbbells, pump out a few sets, boom, whatever. Like I don't care. It's like I'm a stimulating the shoulders a little bit, the side delts through dumbbell lat raises. Yes, it does. I don't need to use the most optimal version that's a pain in the ass to set up, you know?
No. Fuck the friction, man. Fuck the
Yeah,
friction.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, as well as that, like if a client comes to me and they're like, I hate back squats, I hate deadlifts. It's like we don't have to do them. That's fine. If you actually hate them, you're going to be thinking about your training like I absolutely despise these movements. I'm not looking forward to going in and do these. It's like, cool, that's fine, no problem. We don't have to do them. We don't have to do
Yeah.
them. But I want to make sure that you can do them. I want to make sure you can do them pain free. I want to make sure you can squat. I want to make sure you can deadlift. Like, and there's no sort of weak links in the chain.
Sure, man.
But
I'll always say that to clients. It's like, oh, I don't like this movement. Send me a form video first, and we can get things tweaked. And it's like, okay, we've looked at the form. There's a reason why you don't like them. It's because you really suck at them, and it's
yeah,
maybe worthwhile like getting good at them to then have a second opinion. Because maybe someone in their first maybe 1 to 3 years of trying to exercise or get in shape, but they've been stalling. They don't really have like the movement patterns dialed. They're not really confident as they think. They can maybe have a good back workout, but because it's just pulling things to them and down and stuff. But when it really comes to the form, the function, getting your body primed, right, movement patterns, that takes years to learn. Think about the way we used to deadlift back in the day, the way we used to squat back in the day. Like it was literally just get this bar from A to B and
put the
hope
bar on your
that
back and sit down and try and stand up.
hope to the love of God something doesn't pop, you
I know,
know?
I know. But you can train like that when you're like in your early 20s and your teens because you're just like made of fucking rubber and magic, and you literally you'll bounce back. You'll bounce back, but eventually you have to learn how to do it properly. I would always like when I was younger, I would try and like squat and deadlift with like a fucking hyper extended spine. And then just like
Same.
halfway through the movement, my spine would just like move into like either into a neutral or slightly flexed position. And that's just like during that movement, if your spine's moving with that fucking load on it, you're kind of screwed. So Aye, the kind of biggest learnings was just like you need to keep that spine needs to be rigid the whole time through those movements, otherwise you're gonna fucking hurt your back. So you need to
Yeah.
learn how to brace, learn like how to set yourself up in the position where your spine's in like a position that's gonna hold the whole time. So yeah, these things I think and that's the thing as well. If you I think if you can learn how to squat, learn how to deadlift, learn how to bench with good technique, learn how to do pull-ups and dips with good technique, like you'll be able to pretty much do everything. You won't have to, you'll have such a good connection to your body and how things feel and the kind of key movement patterns that, you'll be fine on absolutely everything else. You won't have a problem because you've kind of like learned the technique on maybe some of the hardest moves. It's like an RDL. If you know how to do an RDL properly, then you can probably if someone sends me an RDL form check, for example, when they're a new client and they smash it out of the park, it looks good. I'm actually very, very confident that every other movement is going to look good.
Yeah.
But if they send you an RDL form check and it looks awful, or I can almost tell exactly how every other exercise is going to look off the back of that. Because it's like,
So true. So freaking
some
true.
people, some people can watch a video, a video and basically mirror that instantly. Other clients don't have that same, I don't know, that same
Kinesiology.
kinesiology. Yeah, they don't have that same understanding and connection, coordination yet, but
Yeah.
they can learn it. Some people just pick it up better and they just understand their bodies. They see it and they don't even think about it. They just do it right. And other people
Mhm.
need a little bit more explanation breakdown, which they'll get. But yeah, it's just interesting. So it's interesting.
Indeed. The amount of videos I've sent to clients of me just whipping out my phone, front timer, resting against like a glass of water and being like showing them how to pelvic tilt and then like bend at the knees and hinge at the hip and be like, hold this like broomstick here and do this like this. And then they go do it and they can do it, you know? But it's like
Yeah.
actually telling someone how to roll their hips properly. And I think people are very just, cathartic. They're quite tight, especially maybe in your, let's say clients come on in their 30s. They haven't really got a lot of training IQ. They'll be very stiff through the kind of mid back and up. Their traps will be over pronounced maybe, and their shoulders rounded, and their chest is almost caved. Like they need to
Mm.
know how to open and stuff like that. Like I've noticed that with so many guys' postures, and that's what I even try talk about within check-ins and stuff like that. Is like chest up, shoulders back, learn how to hold yourself and train your body how to, stand and be the way it's meant to be. And over time, that can almost like correct a lot of issues within your current frame.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, oh, what exercises are going to improve posture? Absolutely none. You just have to stand up.
Yeah,
You have
stand
to
up.
you have to practice having better posture. It's the only way to have better posture. You could build all the muscle you want in like any muscle groups, but if you're still like slouching,
Mhm.
you're still slouching. Just sit up. You just have to get used to sitting up or standing up a little bit straighter. Over time, it'll become more of a habit. The only way to correct your posture is to just correct your posture in the moment. Don't know why
Indeed,
that
man.
camera like zooms in and out.
It's quite cool though. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like interesting when you do sit with great posture, your shoulders almost feel like they're actually in place. Me and you have obviously quite loose shoulders, from years of tomfoolery, but actually when you sit back and like decompress and sit your arms the way they're meant to, it's like, oh, that's how everything should feel.
I don't know.
I don't know either, actually. Maybe I'm just talking spout. But
Well, you've had some issues with the shoulder.
yeah, you can see it on the camera if you guys are watching on the YouTube. It's pretty cooked up in there. Like I have mindfulness control over it, and
It
it's
looks
like
like you can
oh,
almost dislocate it.
can dislocate it on command, but it's more into the bicep, the top of the bicep tendon that I get the most irritation now. Because
Mm.
like it's when I heard it's pulled my bicep, this one down, it's almost sunken in. This one's fine, but this bicep's sunken in at the top. I don't know if it was actually maybe I tear the bicep around the time as well. A really minor one. But it means I can tense it differently and it's shorter and it actually looks better, weirdly. Like it looks more like ripped up and like pretty chiseled and stuff when I get lean. So I don't know, man. I'll take it as take it as a win.
Yeah, who knows, mate? Who knows? That's something for a very, very good physio to get into, to be
They,
honest.
they look at it and they're like, nah, I don't even fucking know anymore. Because it's not
Yeah,
sore, and I can press and do all the things. I can pull, I can press. I know what's the range of motion past the point of no return, and I just stay within that. I don't take it to that way when you're really grinding out a set and you think like, oh, deeper, stretch it or press or something. I just avoid that as much as I can, even on pull-ups. Wide grip pull-ups seem to be a one for me where my lat or like because I can go from lat to trap, and it's a lot of gristle and grind through the rear of the shoulder. So if I'm like too wide and my shoulders are too exposed and I'm pulling, it just feels very like there, my chest feels turned on. Here, it's very loose. Doesn't even feel connected.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just
I
shit
get
that you
that.
can watch.
Never enjoyed like really wide grip pull-ups. Always despised them. I just don't do them. Just don't do
Yeah.
them. Always like if I'm doing a wide grip, it's like just over shoulder width, so I can still
Yeah.
keep the elbows tucked in. Engage the lats, engage the upper back. Quite don't know. Whatever. Is it the best? Is it the worst? Who cares? I like doing it like that. But yeah, training wise, rest of the week. So I'll do the push day, do a pull day, deadlifts, back, and then final weight session will usually land on like a Sunday or something, and that'll just be a little bit of upper and getting some bodybuilding exercise in. I'll do my weighted pull ups, weighted dips at the end of the week, and that's the weight training sessions. Right now,
Nice.
I'm trying to do a bit more cardio, get the rower back into play, build up the cardio because when when I was doing those jits comps over the last couple of years, like my cardio was well better because I was like I always had that goal of like I don't want to gas out, so I was doing the assault bike, I was doing regular runs, but that kind of just dropped off. That just dropped off a little bit. There was no urgency with it, but it's like rolling and stuff like that kept my cardio up to an extent. But then I recently I've just been like, right, I need to have one set conditioning session in a week, something I can actually track, something I can measure across time. So I've started doing the rower again, the 10 times 500 meters intervals. So just building that up slowly over time. I'll do that. I'll do that on a Friday, in and out. Only takes half an hour. Savage workout. And yeah, been getting into it, just trying to develop a better technique in the rower and stuff like that. Because man, honestly, my rowing technique used to be abysmal, mate. It was just one of these machines. I never seen it as a machine that you actually had to develop technique on. I'm like, oh yeah, you just sit on it and row. It's like, nah, there's actually
A lot of technique.
quite a lot of technique that goes into it. So been learning a bit more about that, and that's been a bit of a new thing, which is quite fun because obviously like I've ran for years, or like ran since I was like 16. So I feel like with running, I just can't be bothered really doing it anymore. Just wasn't something I enjoyed. So little phase of the rower, see if we can get to a decent level on that.
Sure.
Something fun, something new.
Eddie Hall's little brother has a great rowing program.
Aye.
He's like one of the best concept two rowers and like single body speed rowers in the world.
Yeah, I've seen some of his videos. Like when he's rowing, the entire machine is like moving down the gym.
Mhm.
Like with each row, he's like literally rowing the machine like it is a fucking boat on land.
It's
It's
crazy,
uh,
man.
it's
It's
pretty
crazy.
mad, pretty mad. I think really, really strong guys, once they get a good rowing technique, like it's nuts how much power they can generate. Because if they've got a really good deadlift, you're just basically like doing almost like a deadlift with each rep,
Sure. Sure. It's like
and
a deadlift high pull.
can generate so much power through the row. So yeah, man, the strong guys always have a really powerful rowing technique. But yeah, that'll be a fun one to build up. To be honest,
I've been toying around with that on like the kind of off days from the weights when I'm doing the conditioning piece. It's either like 1,000 meter row and working all the way down to 100, so just dropping 100 meters every time, and then doing like 15 GHD setups or something for that ab stretch and spinal decompression in between, or like ripping the rower or the air assault bike, not the rower, the skier, ripping that as well, and just having some fun in the ergs. Trying to get that kind of metallic taste in the lungs a couple of times a week. I think that's very very good for you. You know,
hi Amy.
Oh, I think Lewis has done like the most disgusting shit down here because it absolutely stinks.
it's funny because this is like a podcast me now. You're just like throwing me right in with that, and you're coming in here, you're fucking blowing up lips saying I'm dropping shits in the toilet. But
Mate, we've got a viral clip now.
we do have a viral clip, man. We do have a viral clip. That's life. That's life as a lifting man.
Oh man, can't believe you took a shit. That's
So
not on
does not smell at all down here. I do not know what she's talking about.
me.
Smells fucking fine if you ask me.
It smells great, bro. That's so funny, man. That's so funny.
But that's an hour in
Oh,
to episode
fuck.
one. We don't want to leave the guy. We don't want to give the guys too much because I'm sure we've got a lot of sauce we can filter in if we're
That
going
was
to
only
do
meant to be 15 minutes.
exactly. That's this is the amount of value we're going to give to people on a weekly basis, or bi-weekly, however many we decide to do in a month. But
I know, I was just thinking like a monthly review of what we're doing, training, nutrition, lifestyle habits wise, but we literally didn't even get beyond, my first day of training.
exactly, and that's what people are in for. We're going to give 2 decades worth of value away over the next however many
Two
episodes.
decades.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
All right,
volume.
nice.
Oh,
Shall we land the plane?
wrap it and crap it.
Aye, man. Jesus, you better get into that toilet with the fucking brush, start scrubbing, son.
Get the marigolds on. That's the missus told me. Time to do the real work for the day.
Get the hazmat suit on.
Awesome episode.
Yeah, nice one, man. Cool. Yeah, sweet.
Tell the viewers, rate, comment, subscribe. If we're going to kick something off, we'll do it right. And always just make sure the reticular activating system of the listeners is working. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.
Like, follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
Let's go.
Alrighty. Cool.